I threw that out there and let you take it. Okay. Okay. I'll try one more. You know that 70% of people in Zimbabwe use public transportation. The reason why is because they're mad at gas car where it costs too much.
Oh my God.
I haven't been late months. This is the best it's gonna get. Let's see.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Getting Close Up, the show focused on independent artists and creatives. I'm your host, Danielle Cox. My guest today has big ideas and a knack for finding talents to fit those big ideas. A comedian, an actor, an author, a dancer. He's just an onion of talent, and we're gonna peel back some layers. Today, we are getting close up with Charles Randolph. Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Danielle. This is a nice show. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And what was great was that you reached out to us, which I always love when that happens, because sometimes, as you probably are aware with all those different things that you do in the entertainment world, and sometimes you're not really sure if people are like seeing you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yes. I saw you guys' deal on Instagram, and so then I was like, look, this looks like fun, and I have no shame, so I was like, let me just ask and see if they'll let me on. And you forgot film producer and underwater basket weaver, but what's that?
Wait, what?
That's a long story. It was the last summer, but I'm kidding. I'm just
my
joking.
gosh,
I'm just joking. I wish I could.
But the thing is, I believed you.
Yes, yeah.
Because of that.
Because it's gonna happen one day.
And you're right. Filmmaker is one of the things that we're definitely going to talk to you about. But like, you have so many talents. And the reason why I said big ideas and like, you either have talents that fit those or you acquire them. Because you've gotten to the comedy scene only like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I do. I've done some open mics, nothing huge, but I've put on my own shows. One, because I'm not good enough to get invited to them. But two, also, but really I kind of like to set things at my own schedule, you know, and then because one, you learn about how to set them up. You learn stuff that you take for granted. For example, when we did one at the library at the Vault, I had never thought about the sound system, because when you go do an open mic at a comedy club, the sound system, all that stuff's all there. But then when you're putting on the show, you have to see, okay, we got the sound system, you have all this, and then it opens your mind to a lot of different stuff. So you learn too. But also then you learn about, you know, booking other people just in case this person, you know, flops out. So you learn the whole aspect of it.
There's a lot of different moving parts to putting on your own show.
Yes.
And you find ways to acquire talents or find the right people to connect to the big ideas that you have.
Yes.
Another thing that I didn't mention in the intro that I don't think it's a hidden talent because you kind of talk about it, but you can cook.
How'd you know that? Yes.
I mean, yeah.
That's right. Yes, I can.
Yeah, you mean kind of put stuff together. So it's like a dinner theater comedy show thing in your future, you think?
That's a good idea. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I could. Since I've done, you know, cooking for years, and so I haven't, you know, a while back had the idea of doing like some catering, because I've done that with the Nelson or whatnot. And
oh wow, okay.
Not big time. I don't want to make it, you know, but
it's big.
Their debutante balls or whatnot like that. They have it was something expensive that their food is amazing, but they would let you like kind of decorate. It is a small thing, but anyway, there's kitchens. There's a kitchen in Independence to where like they let you rent out a space, and then you can start your own business in there. And so I had the idea a while back, but just couldn't, you know, it wasn't a good time to follow up with it. But yeah, I do like cooking. I cooked for my parents' anniversary a while back, so they love that.
Awesome.
And you learn some of the really nice things that, you know, when I go to those events, I learned those things, and then I was like, here, let me see if I can cook it myself. So yeah, it's very important.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to be the theme for this whole interview. So one of the things that I noticed when you're doing your routines, when you're doing your comedy, is that you sometimes have this book with you.
Yes.
Except we don't have it today.
No, they're not. This one time I cleaned out my car, and then all of a sudden I needed it. But yeah. So, yeah.
But it's funny because like this book seems like it just has like your entire life in it.
Yes, it has quite a bit. That book is very important to me. What it is, a little blue notebook that I carry around. Let's say if at work, while I'm supposed to be working or doing stuff, I don't care about this stuff. I'm just there to make money. I'm not there to
I'm
do
just
my
here
job.
so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I have ideas, or if I have a goal, I write it down because things become more important when you write them down. And
that's how I feel as well.
And when people have anxiety, there's two things advice I give about it. One, did you know that the part of your brain that has gratitude is the same part that has anxiety, and you can't have both at the same time. So if you start to think of what you're grateful for, you stop being anxious.
So that's why that works.
Part of it, yeah. Because the thing is, like, one thing that an old coach, when I was working with this relationship coach years ago, he said, write down 100 things that you're proud of, that you're confident about, things that you did well. And it can really change your perspective of things, because it's easy to remind ourselves of all the stuff we've done wrong and and the things we regret, but we take for granted all the things we've done right. Look at professional athletes. If they do something great, 5 years from now, it's like, oh, that's a has-been. But if they did something wrong 20 years ago, people will never forget.
That's very true.
And that's a toxic mentality.
It is.
So, sometimes you have to write down, you write down things you're proud of. Hey, I asked a girl out. I went to the gym. I, cooked a great meal or something like that. It's not something to be taken for granted, because years from now, you're going to look back and wish, missed that kind of thing. So you should really be proud of it and be grateful for it.
Yeah. It helps you appreciate yourself.
Yes. Appreciate yourself, not take the little things for granted, but also, when you're planning for bigger things, you need to write them down to where you can really organize your thoughts.
That too.
I write down for a comedy routine, if I see something funny or if I'm thinking of something, so you don't forget it. But then, you get your ideas on paper and your mind's not scrambled, and you've got a way to really, what's my vision for this? And so that book is really, it really does help quite a bit. So yeah, I wish I'd have known that was, I would have brought it, but yeah.
Well, you know what? That ended up being funny anyway. So, like the one time you need it, but it's fine. You didn't, it's okay. You did great.
Thank you.
You did great. And the book will still live in infamy.
Yes.
It will continue to. And I think that it was good that you mentioned that it's part of your comedic process, because you watch a lot of what's going on around you and put that in your comedy.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about the types of things that you talk about in your comedy, because there was one set where you did, and you just kind of like gave facts about animals.
Oh, yes.
That you thought was interesting. And I was getting like this matter of fact kind of awkward energy it was really fun. It helped make whatever you were saying funny. Like, is that intentional?
Yes, and sometimes I'm just not well rehearsed on some things. I guess it could be, but no. Like, one thing I wanted to do when you first start out comedy, a lot of times people imitate their favorites, and then after a while they learn to become their own.
Yeah, you see that a lot. Yeah.
And there's I call it the low, like, hanging fruit comedy that I used to do, like more like just easy racial jokes or stuff like that, or talking about dating or something, whatever. And they, people can be great with those. But I wanted to just think of something different and just something that'd be more interesting. And so I started, something that wouldn't really offend people, And so when I learned about animals, one, you learn an amazing stuff, but two, it makes people think, makes them laugh, and then I've had people say, "Oh, I'm glad you talk some stuff about animals," because if they hear the same routine over and over, for 12 people, and then you come with something different, it's nice to hear, because then they kind of perk up. You learn facts. Did you know there's a glow in the dark shark? It's a real small shark.
I think that's probably. I don't know if that's the last thing we need, or if they all need to be glow in the dark. I'm kind of in between.
The fun thing I would do is I would take a fact. I don't know if I want to talk about that joke, but I had a joke. I was like, the African crescent eagle. It's a very dangerous eagle. It like crushes the skulls and the spines of its prey. And that rapper whose name rhymes with Blake. That that's how hard they. That's how
the one who shall not be named.
Yeah, that's how hard they bite off their. How hard he bites off of other people's lyrics. That's how hard they bite.
And cultures, but we won't go there too.
And the punchline is. And which makes sense, because they also prey on children. But my point is, so it's fun. It's fun.
That's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
It's fun to have some interesting stuff to where you can learn a little bit about the animal kingdom, which is very interesting. Oh, Dr. Umar, you love Dr. Umar?
Yes.
He would not.
I mean, I don't want to say I love Dr. Umar. I know of him.
Know of him. Like, there are.
Love's a strong word.
There are some animals in the Arctic that actually they'll change from the regular color, like foxes or bunnies, to actually white, to like for
where this is
protection,
going.
and like that turns to a snow bunny, and we don't need to go any further. But go ahead.
But I think it's good too when people can see where it's going, because then they want to hear what you have the audacity to say. And there's a lot of comedians that do that, but not a lot of them want to. Not a lot of them want to, because it's such a fine line. But I think it works well with the energy that you put off, because it's not like you are saying it to jab, to
upset somebody.
It's being said, like I said, matter of factly, and so it's just like, oh, he said that.
Yeah.
Moving on, and then you just move on. So I just thought that was really, really interesting. Have you, in your walk of being a comedian, a lot of the times I hear about a type 5. Is that something, where you just like put together a 5-minute set of like your best jokes?
Oh, okay.
Is that something like a process that you've started to, or are you more with the kind of style that you normally use?
Well, I've never heard of a type. I guess I know what you're talking about. Like, one things that you'll do, like you'll go to a bunch of open mics and try different stuff, and then the best things you get from those different sets that you put on, you can kind of
right. It's like you have this whole thing that's a 5-minute set that can kind of be your baseline. Yeah,
and I've done some of that, because some of the ones in from the movie, like the jokes I know usually land, I'll make sure to add those into like a show, a show versus an open mic. Open mic, I'll say kind of whatever just to try something different. But I think one of my favorite jokes that I may just throw it in just for the fun of it. Like I said, I asked this girl out at one time and she turned me down, and I know what you're thinking. This guy's thirsty. We should get this Oreo some milk. And so sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, go ahead. Continue.
But I think those experiences that you've had led you to the thing we were talking about, being a filmmaker, because you're doing a movie called Open Mic.
Yes, I am.
So let's talk about that, because I think it's really interesting how you have the open mic comedian experience, and you also have other types of artists involved as well, with a plot line.
Yes.
So it's like a plot line weaved into these shows that's happening during the movie. How did you come up with that?
Well, here's the real honest story. I mean, for one, I was an extra in a film with Will Carter last year, Clown is a Funeral, and there was actually a film festival. And if you see some of the local filmmakers, whatnot, that if you went to that movie festival, their quality is just as good as Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not like that's cute. Like it is. No, they've got really good. Legit
They're very
stuff.
serious about what they do.
And I've wanted to make a movie. One time I was waiting to be in an extra in something, and I was waiting around just to hear back from somebody, and it took like a while. I'm thinking, I'm sitting there waiting just to try to slide into someone's movie. I could spend my money and make my own. I'll learn. It'll cost a lot. That's fine, but I'll learn a whole lot. I'll impact other people.
Yeah.
And that's gonna help grow me even faster. But so much more opportunity. For one of the coolest things that happened was I reached out to lady Delia King. She's got a good following on Facebook, and when you get in a girl's inbox, you say you want to make a movie. You have to really gotta be. You really have to.
Much like how when we reach out to artists and say, "Hey, meet us in the basement."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I get it.
Yes, and but she had never met me before. She came there one of the days we were shooting, without meeting me, and she didn't even know she was getting paid. She's a hairdresser. And so she was like figuring she was gonna lose money, but that meant that much to her. So like I let her be part of the movie cover, and to see her and Cheyenne's the co-star, like how excited they were about that meant a whole lot, because then there's some things in life you can't put a price on.
True.
To see something like that kind of impacts you, they're like, man, you did something that that's exciting for them, whether it be the single mom that's working all the time that does something new, or if it's the aspiring actress with Cheyenne, and so I wanted to open up a lot of opportunities. I wanted to do something. I don't like to go to work, make somebody else rich, and then go home and watch people get rich. I want to try to build my own.
Exactly.
I haven't watched television for years, and I'm not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't, because the thing is, my favorite 2 artists are deceased, Michael and Whitney. My favorite athlete's retired, Tony. Romo, I know you guys are cheese
There's
people.
a lot of
but,
Tonys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Tonys.
And so it's like I want to build something from my own because it really is disheartening to work your tail off for somebody else to get the you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
that's
To get the spoils. Like, why should
Yeah.
they when it's my talent, my grit? If I can do all of this effort just to show someone else that they need to invest in me, then I can really just do that and invest in myself.
Exactly, yeah. And so when finding people, just telling, the cool thing is to build a name for myself, build, some kind of, following in the community, but also give people opportunities. Brett Alexander, he got his first headlining gig when we did the library last year. That was cool.
That's awesome.
Some people get their first gig or their first paid gig, and so that helped. That feels good for me. It's
Yeah.
not something you put on a resume, but it's something that really feels empowering to do that for somebody. And so, like Will Carter, he's a local director, filmmaker, whatnot. He's really awesome. I talked with him, and the funny thing is, I didn't know anything about filmmaking. I thought when I was going to be an extra in his film, that I was like, oh, this will take about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It took like 6 hours.
See,
Yeah.
but you learn things from that, though.
Yeah.
And I guess the next thing I want to ask about are the different skills that you learn in this process.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Yeah, the one is planning. Sometimes as an artist, you can write your own stuff, but when you're a solo artist, you can ebb and flow, and especially on stage, you can kind of change things to your liking because it's just you.
Yeah.
But then when you have other people, they're like, hey, I need to know what I need to do here. I need to know what I need to do here. And they can't read your mind. So now you have to really take on the professional side of, I need to be prepare them so they know exactly what they're doing and put them in a position for success. And that's one thing he taught me about, pre-planning and so forth like that, that now you're working with a different group of people. It's no longer being the solo artist anymore, So that's one thing that I've learned. I've learned about how movies are made, how they have to take multiple shots of things and so forth like that. Did not know that. And just a little bit about lighting, just kind of seeing how they do with the camera stuff that I don't know anything about.
Fascinating?
Yeah.
Lighting is something you don't even think about. I learned how to do some lighting stuff here recently for other projects that we were working on, and I was just like, this is a whole world.
There's that. There's also like the original plan I had for the movie kind of didn't go as planned, and so learning about the timing, like you only the more every minute counts as far as money. So
Time is definitely money when you're making a movie.
And if you make it long, you want to make it better or longer or something like that's going to cost a lot more. So we had very little time to do stuff. So what ended up happening is he had so much film, but he came and talked to me and said, hey, look, the plot that you were going for is not, we have to cut a lot of this out because otherwise it's going to take away the plot. It's like, and so learning from that. But it was a learning experience for me. It was an exciting thing too, because it's cool to talk to people to say like, hey, get to do this movie. It's a cool experience.
Yeah.
I don't spend money on vacations. Obviously, I haven't spent money on a new car, but I'm investing it into myself because one, if I do buy a new car, I'm married to that company for the next couple of years because those things are expensive.
They are expensive.
Two, I'm trying to build my own brand and make it to where I can work for myself. I may work a regular job that that's office comfortable, but I also want to do my books and stuff like that.
It funds what you're doing.
Yes, that's what
there's an importance to keeping that 9 to 5, even though as a creative you don't want to be there. There's times where I'd much rather be thinking about the next 5 videos that I want to make or the next but you're like, I got to do this because this is what helps keep light, gas, food, everything here and money to be able to go to shows and to experience different things. Like it's that big dichotomy of a creative and living in the society that we live in to have to figure that out. It's a struggle, and you still find other things to work on. So as if making a movie was not enough, you also are an author, and you, through your observations of things at work, decided to write a children's book.
Well, you are good. You're like Shannon Sharp's niece. I tell you, you got all kinds of research that you've done.
Well, I never dated him, so
I said you're his niece.
No, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
He needs women old enough to be his niece.
Yeah.
So
yes, what I did is this is the cool thing is, like a lot of times, sometimes with creating, people will look for some huge, big inspiration versus the stuff that's just right around them. And the cool thing was, one, at my job, it's at a 100-year-old mill. And so seeing how the architecture is from there from years ago, it's amazing.
I love that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It is really cool. And so I was like, this is a cool thing. There's two folks that work there, Jared and Armando, that for some reason I was fascinated by their friendship. They're just two good buddies. They live kind of near each other, and so they're just regular old good buddies. So I told them, here, I'm gonna write a poem about you, just as being joking, And I had to read it at a event one time, and so these guys are funny because they don't go to art events and stuff like that at the mill.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Yeah.
They're just your run of the mill guys.
Yeah, and
I wonder if that's where that came from.
I don't know.
Okay.
It could be.
Sorry.
And so they're all looking at me like I'm the oddball there because I was never supposed to be in a mill. I don't work with tools, but they needed people. I needed a job. And so I had no shame in asking, said, I'm not qualified, but if you guys hire me, I'll work my tail off, and outlasted the people that were far more qualified, because I bust my tail every day. But I'm not busting my tail for them. I'm busting my tail to build my
Exactly.
future. But yeah, from talking with them, it's like, if I could make this something about the life of the mill and bring that to life, because this is an interesting thing. It can make a great story. And I hired an illustrator to do, because it's better than the nonsense I've done.
Let's go ahead and show this, because
Okay.
you brought it with you.
This is the first book. The second one's going to be 1,000 times better. I hired an actual illustrator, but like this, the back.
Because you've done this yourself.
Yes, this is what I did myself. I did. This was Jerry Bear Builds Armando a Home, and so Jerry Bear is supposed to be like the super guy at work hey, we need this fixed, and he comes in and fixes it, and he has this flashlight he always carries with him, so I call it his magic flashlight. And so these guys, I mean, these are your beer drinking, those type that are like, you're writing a kid's book about them, so they're cracking up. And so the cool thing is, you bring art to an audience that never gets to see it. You bring comedy, and you bring this stuff to life, and the cool, I tell you, this is one of the coolest things ever. I get goosebumps thinking about it. How fast people bought this book, how their kids wanted me to sign it. And then the one guy FaceTimed his kid and said, hey, look, Wave, this is the guy that made the book. And so you got folks that are working a second shift, hardly get to see their family, but they got something cool to take home. And it means a lot when, like, the guy that trained me, and when I sold him my first book, he wanted me to sign it at his first book. I mean, the people to show that faith in your stuff, and it was genuine. It wasn't like a mocking, oh, okay, fine. Like, they really enjoyed it.
It's not like when they're, buy the cookies from your kid.
Yeah, the guy that runs the site bought one, and it's like right there, on the spot. That means a whole lot, because that motivates you to keep going and to saying, hey, you've got an opportunity here.
And with all these experiences that you've had, and learning how to take feedback and learning how to be patient, you have to have good people behind you. How do you find, like with the production company for your movie that you're working on, how do you find good people to work with?
It's in the opportunities, like the short film I did for Clowns at a Funeral, Wilf Carter.
I love that title, by the way.
Yeah, it was for a film festival. He was the one that he filmed it, and so when keeping in touch with him, being a part of IFCKC, the Independent Filmmakers Coalition.
Oh yes, they help a lot.
Yeah, and so when talking with him, I asked, hey, can I make a movie with you? And then Cheyenne Shepard, who is the co-star, I met her she was an extra. Sherry Hall, who's going to be publishing my book, I've met her at the through poetry, and so some of the open mics, like Black Archives and stuff like that. And so, talking with them, learning about their talents, and then I work with people that I trust.
Yeah.
I work with folks
important.
also they treat this like this is a big opportunity for them, or really exciting, versus like, oh, sure, it's just something that I had to put on my calendar, versus like, man, like Cheyenne had put, she's posting into her stories, and she was excited about it.
Yeah.
That's going to make the project better, versus someone that's just, they think that them merely showing up is enough. I don't, right now, obviously building up, I can't pay a lot, but there are people that they may not be the top talent. I've got talented people, don't get me wrong, but they're thrilled for an opportunity. The cool story, I was at the gym listening to some rap song outside. I was like, man, I was walking by this car trying to Shazam it. I walked up to the car, asked the guy, he's actually a rapper, just got out of prison. And I said, hey, do you want to be part of the movie? And his song's going to be in the movie. And
that
he didn't actually
could have gone a million different ways.
It could have.
And it went the best way. I think that's dope.
Yeah, and that gives him an opportunity. He's music out on Apple, and he's been a really good friend. He's building his life back up, and so it's like,
that's awesome.
It's it's pretty cool. So I network at the open mics, and I network at any film I'm part of, and just talk to people and just see who's genuine when talking to me, and who's excited to talk to me, versus who's just acknowledging me. And so if they're talented, but they also have to like Sherry's been awesome to where how she really engages in conversation with me. I don't feel like I'm, I don't like people when they feel like they're doing me a favor just to be in my presence, and so.
And you can feel that heavy.
Yes.
And when you got stuff to do and big things, you want to really align yourself with people who value you and what you're doing.
Yes.
And it sounds a lot too like one of the main ways that you find people to connect with, the right people, is you just are in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
Doing what you do and trying to use your talents to highlight other people, and that attracts good people to you.
Yeah, you mentioned also it highlights them too, because you don't want it to just be one side.
Exactly.
Like here, just help me. I want to actually help. I genuinely want to help promote you. So sometimes if they have a show, I'll share it to my stories that has nothing to do with me, because that's important that they know, hey, I'm on your side. I'm not just trying to get you to do something for me. So, yeah.
100%. That's that paying it forward, paying into the bucket is really important.
And that's what I think our community could do a lot more of, is work together.
Work together.
Instead of this, I'm trying to just be this and it's just me. But like if you work, other communities do it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's how they succeed. So you work together, and two people are going to, with the same focus and same drive, are going to beat the single guy by themselves all the time.
Not stepping on each other, but stepping with each other.
Yes.
Makes a big difference. And so with all of that, you've got so much behind you for future success. Tell me about what you feel the future looks like and what you have in the next set of big ideas.
Future. Okay, so after this movie and after the book, when the book comes out, I do want to pitch it to corporate and pitch it to a lot of the sites, and then start to build it up into, write a script for it, and then make it into, get with the right folks, with the filmmakers and so forth, and make it into a musical to start to maybe do it within schools, but build it from that. Eventually, as it gains some popularity, pitch it to Broadway, pitch it to Hollywood. The chances of that getting, is obviously
pitch it
low.
everywhere,
but pitch it, throughout, and build it as much. And then eventually, I want it to become a cartoon. So something that, like, obviously not in the same realm, but like South Park guys. I watched them, and I was like, man, I wish I could be to where I'm doing this all the time.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm just as silly as them, not to their extent, but you see what I'm saying.
Not the same subject matter, but I get it. Yeah.
And so that's a big opportunity. And so just building this book up, because through the comedy, through the dance, that kind of thing, the book is my opportunity. That to me feels like that's my ticket to the next level, and I want to build that as much as possible, build it to many families, and that's my goal.
Yeah, I see that. I see you heading that path. So and I ask artists this a lot because success looks differently to everybody. And I think it's really important to highlight that success looks different to everyone. What does success look like to you?
Well, they say success is distance traveled. That's you have to look back at where you started from, and then where you get to. And for myself, success is when I am in the point to where my artwork is known globally. And that's going to take a long time, but it's also, like, financially, I want it to be to where money's not an issue. To where if I go to a place that it's that if I want to spend $300, something like that, I don't have to get tense.
It matters.
And like, I want a platinum grill. I think that's what success is ultimately what you should be looking for.
I did not see that one coming.
So that's like, I want I want to be able to buy some new J's and pay my rent.
Like,
so that's
some J's and pay my rent. It sounds like a rap song now.
No, I'm kidding. But no, just to where I'm comfortable, and to where I could do for my parents to where I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I definitely I love asking people that question because it really shows, it connects where you want to be and where you are right now.
Yeah.
I really feel that it connects those two things. We'll have to have you back because I really want to talk to you after the process of releasing the movie and also while you go through the process of pitching, because that's a whole other beast to learn about. Pitching is an art just about. So
yeah, with this movie, what it's going to be, it's at the Screenland Armor Theater. It's going to be like a private event to where I book the theater and pay for it. And so, because I don't know how it's going to be more of a short film. But it's we're gonna have some prior stuff to it, whatnot like that. But I'm gonna book it, and then but yeah, you'll have it in the theater up north. So. Yeah.
All right, that's awesome.
Yes.
Well, we've got one more thing that we need you to do. We now have a wall of fame, so I'll have you get up there and make your mark.
Thank you.
All right, so get to it.
Excited.
Many thanks again to my guest, Charles Randolph, for joining me today. You guys will definitely want to keep up with him. You guys are the best part of all of this, and I'll see you again soon for another close-up. I'll be checking for you. Bye.